know the high of a reset, the little dopamine hit of buying the planner, downloading the template, and convincing yourself, okay, this time is going to be different. I know the moment you look at the fresh setup and think, there she is, the organized one, the disciplined one, the Notion dashboard one. And I'm speaking from experience when I say this. And that is, I think, what makes the reset so seductive, is because for a second, it works. Everything looks cleaner, your brain feels quieter, the system is pretty, but then the reset energy wears off and you're right back here. So that's what I want to talk about today. Not because organization is bad. I love a good template. I love a good Notion system, but because you've tried to just get organized before. And how's that actually working for you? Okay, so this whole thing started because I got an email from a client this week with a line that I have not stopped thinking about. They said, apparently I think I get summers off. And first of all, same, because that is always kind of my MO. Second, that might be the entire August mood, because there is the weird thing that happens in summer where even if you were still working, even if your calendar is still full, even if your responsibilities did not magically evaporate because it got warm outside, some part of your brain is like, technically this is summer, so I should be free, right? And then August hits. September starts breathing down your neck. School starts, routines come back, client work picks back up, family schedules get a little bit tighter, and the I'll deal with it later pile suddenly starts feeling like it's growing infinitely. And instead of thinking, maybe the goal should not be to get organized again, most of us go straight into, I need to get organized. I need a new planner. I need a new dashboard. I need a new Notion template, a new routine, a new calendar. And listen, I get it. I love a good template. Obviously, I'm not here to betray my people. I understand the high of a fresh setup, the sorting, the labeling, the dragging things into the right places, the little dopamine hit, which I would argue actually isn't that little, of looking at a clean page, looking at a planned out calendar and thinking, okay, my life is fixed now. It's pretty intoxicating, but here's where it actually gets really annoying, frankly, is sometimes getting organized feels better than doing the thing we were supposed to do in the first place. Sometimes it feels productive because it is productive adjacent. You did do something. You cleaned, you sorted, you named, you moved, you built. But if the same note still ends up in Apple Notes, or voice memos, or sticky notes, or random Notion pages, and the margins of your actual life, if the same follow-ups are still living in your head, if the same tasks still disappear until they become urgent enough to ruin your afternoon, if the same dashboard keeps getting rebuilt every 3 months, then I need us to be honest. The problem might not be where things go. The problem might be that getting organized was the wrong goal from the beginning. And that is the whole episode right there. I think we have made getting organized the holy grail, and I don't think that it is. I think getting organized is often the thing we do after the actual system has already failed us. Because here's the difference. Getting organized asks, where does this go? But the better question is why does this keep happening? Because a cleaner mess is still a mess. And I say that with love, but I also say it as someone who has absolutely cleaned the same closet, rebuilt the same dashboard, restarted the same routine, and convinced myself, okay, now I'm ready, more times than I can count, okay? It feels good, but it does not always fix the thing. Let me give you the most basic example that's so damn relatable. If you don't do this, we're not the same. But if you keep throwing clothes on that chair in your closet, the solution might not be buy more hangers or organize your closet better. Maybe the issue is that the hamper is in the wrong place. Maybe the clothes are not dirty enough to wash, but not clean enough to go back in the drawer. And it's the same thing with business. If every idea goes into 5 different places, depending upon where you are located when you come up with that idea, you don't have an idea problem, you have a consolidation problem. I wouldn't even argue that that's a capture problem because you're capturing it, you're writing it down, but you're writing it down in 8,000 different locations. If every follow-up depends on you remembering at the exact right moment, that's not a discipline problem, that's a reminder problem. If every next step requires you to reopen the project, reread everything, redecide what matters, and emotionally re-enter the universe of that task, you do not have a motivation problem. You have a this takes way too much effort to come back to problem. And that is the part most get organized projects never actually touch. They make the location prettier, the dashboard, the Notion, the calendar, the apartment. They make it prettier, but they do not always make the behavior easier. So no, I do not think the answer is another article about why you can't get organized or another Marie Kondo video or decluttering video. I think the better question is whether getting organized was ever the right target. Maybe the goal shouldn't be to get organized. Maybe the goal should be to be supported. So let's talk about what I'm starting to call the Tuesday test, because this is where a lot of systems, I think, lie to us. Your setup does not need to work on one empty Sunday when you have coffee, a clean desk, and that Delulu optimism that can come with the organization mood, thinking that suddenly tomorrow morning you're going to be a completely different person than you are today. It needs to work on a Tuesday at 2:33 p.m. in the afternoon in September. It needs to work between calls, when you're behind on follow-ups, when you're answering client messages from your phone in the parking lot before you go to your next meeting. In those moments where you're trying to remember whether the thing you need is Notion or your inbox or Apple Notes or on a sticky note currently living under your coffee mug. That is the test. Does the system help that version of you, not peaceful Sunday fantasy version of you, not the I just watched a reset video and cleaned my desk version of you, not I have nothing urgent happening and can calmly assign tags to my entire life version of you. The real you, the tired you, the busy you, the mildly annoyed you, the you who still wants to do good work but does not have an extra 95 minutes to figure out where to put the damn thing. That is the who the system has to serve. And if it does not, you're going to blame yourself for not being consistent enough or disciplined enough when really the setup was built for conditions you almost never have. This is also why I do not love it when people treat discipline like it's the whole answer. Discipline's not bad. I love disciplines. I love standards. I love a woman with a plan and a little competitive fire under her ass. But discipline cannot be the only thing holding your business together. If every task depends on you remembering and every follow-up depends on you manually tracking it, every reminder depends on you putting it in the right place at the right time with the right level of future context, that's not a character flaw. That's a setup asking too much of the person inside of it. And I want you to catch that before you turn it into a shame spiral. Because what usually happens is this: life gets louder, the system stops keeping up with it, things start slipping, and instead of asking, what did that setup make too hard, we ask, why am I like this? Like, no. That's the wrong question. Better questions would look something like, what keeps falling apart first? Where do I keep losing track of things? What do I only remember when it's already urgent? What part of this depends on me being in a weirdly perfect mood? What needs to be easier to capture or easier to come back to? What needs a default instead of another decision? Because most of the time, you're not looking for organization. You're not looking for a prettier place to put your life. You are looking for something that works when your life gets full. And I think this is the moment where, if you're watching the YouTube version of this, I would probably put giant text across the screen, and I'm going to do it, that says, a cleaner mess is still a mess. That's kind of what I want you to take with you today. I know we like to say organized chaos. Organized chaos is kind of still chaos though, right? And I'm not saying that organization is useless. It's not. You know this about me. You know I love the clean setup, but the setup has to do more than just look calm. I think we get far too stuck in the aesthetics of how things look. Does it make the right action easier? Does it lower the odds that you're going to lose that thread? Does it help you come back to your work, to yourself, when life interrupts you? Because it will. Does it reduce the number of times your brain has to hold on to 8 open loops while pretending everything is fine? That's the difference between being organized and something actually helping you. So here's what I want you to do, because again, the tendency is to just organize, which means you're probably going to start rebuilding things. We're not going to do that. We're not going to start with a tool. We're not going to start with a template. We're not going to start with the aesthetic. I want you to start with the pattern. I want you to pick one thing that keeps falling apart, just one. Maybe it's client follow-up. Maybe it's content ideas. Maybe it's email or tasks. Maybe it's the fact that you keep writing things down in those 18 different places because your brain apparently believes every surface is a productivity app. Whatever it is, I want you to pick one. And then I want you to ask, when does this usually break? What am I doing right before it breaks? Because that context matters. What am I asking myself to remember? Where am I making this harder than it needs to be? And what would make this easier for tired, busy me? This is, I think, the beginning stages of the real fix. It's not like that full life renovation. It's not that brand new September personality. It's a pattern. It's a place where the same things keep slipping. It's an honest look at what's actually happening. This is where we start. And if this kind of thing keeps happening for you, where you keep trying to get your business organized, but it still feels like too much of it lives in your brain, this is exactly what I want you to pay attention to right now. The next step is not to shame yourself into a stricter routine. The next step is to notice what gets loud first. And this is actually a lot of what we're going to be talking about in the upcoming Burnout Proof Business Bootcamp. I haven't talked about this a lot so far, which is bad because it's in less than a month, but it is a completely free bootcamp I'm running starting on September 14th. I'm going to put all of the links down below in the show notes. We're going to be diving way more into these sort of better moves than the kind of general tips that we get, the just get organized, just delegate tips. We're going to be diving so much deeper into that. So if that's what you need, go ahead and head to the link down below and join us. So today's episode was obviously all about systems, but it was kind of the mindset behind the system, specifically why the notion of getting organized is often not the finish line or the fix we need, and why it might not even be the right goal. Because ultimately, I don't think you need another reset that only works when you're already calm and caught up and free of interruptions, which is delusional and never happens. You need something that you can hold up on a Tuesday. You need something that helps tired you, busy you, real life you. So that's your assignment. Before you rebuild, rename, reorganize, plan, organize, restart anything, ask yourself what keeps falling apart first. Then come tell me. Reply to my emails, DM me, comment where you found this episode. I do not care. I just want you to stop blaming yourself long enough to start noticing those patterns, those really, really important patterns. And if you want more of sort of real talk conversation, make sure you're subscribed to my email list. Come out and hang out with us in the community. This is where we take you from like that, wow, this is rude but accurate sort of feeling to like, okay, what do I actually do next? So with that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening on the podcast, do all the podcasty things. Follow along, subscribe, make sure you are connected to us on your podcast listening platform of choice. And if you're watching on YouTube, drop any comments you've got below. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And with that, stay relentless, my friend, but keep it sustainable. Bye.